It arrived early. All right. Just gotta see if it's the right one. Yeah, I didn't want to go too hard and just cut anything like this. Okay. You know, right?
There it is.
Oh, this is it.
Nice clean motor, Brock.
Dude. That's where the turbo will go, yeah. I am so pumped. I am so pumped. Oh man. So these are the 14mm bolts that I seen on that guy's video. This is where my transmission goes. Oh man. And like all of the new parts that I put into my car, it fits that. So it looks like this is probably one of my coolant issues. This looks like it could be an issue. Well, the rest of this basically just burns oil like real bad. There's a power steering pump right here that I wouldn't mind changing out. Keep it on it. But yeah, this engine's got 240,000 kilometers on it. That one only has 65,000. So infinitely already better than this setup. This is the American 2.5 liter. That is the Japanese 2 liter. It's got a little bit more power to it also. It's a better engine even. I'm excited for that to go in there. It's probably not going to burn oil nearly as much as this one. This one I can drive it for like a whole hour at 100 kilometers an hour, or like 60 miles for an hour, just an hour, and then I'll have to top off the oil. So that's why this is all happening. It's about time. This is a sore Subaru engine. And today, what I'm going to do is just kind of follow a video that I found on YouTube, start plucking things out. Yeah, I'm just gonna pluck at it over the next couple of days, and then on Monday I'm gonna order my part and then get more serious with it, because I don't think it's gonna be that difficult. It's just time consuming. Alright, so first things first, I have to drain the coolant, or what's left of my coolant, out of my rad. Alright, luckily this is in the way. Okay, so the plug is right there. You can't see it. This is probably gonna be a mess. Nice. Probably not even gonna have barely anything in it. Oh, it's got some. Wow. I'm surprised. Like, no pressure at all. I don't even have to open up one of the caps because of the hole that's in the hose, so it just comes out so nicely. In the meantime, while that's draining, I'm going to take this 10 mil and disconnect the ground prong. There we go. Off. I just need to make sure it doesn't hit anything. Perfect. For now anyways. So what I'm going to do for today is I'm just going to keep this unplugged. What I'm going to do is undo all these hoses. I'm not going to scrap that one just yet. Man, that's a bummer. Just gotta be super gentle with these, right? The clamps off. Ah, I gotta put my phone down. Okay, so basically that's what it is. I'm just gonna be clamping these, pulling these off. I'm gonna do that here, and I'm also gonna do that to this bottom one right there. Cool. Pretty straightforward. Just crack it loose. Don't make it go too crazy, but wiggle it off just ever so gently. Let that pour into the bucket. Still pouring down there, huh? I can't believe it even had that much coolant left in it from the other day. It was just so steamy. I'm gonna have to pull this out too. Ah! Yeah, so this is not the regular air intake that comes with it. This is it used to cover this whole thing, but now I've just got this one here. Pull this thing out from the rad. Okay, so I seen a neat trick with this. Alright, so instead of pulling it all the way off to get it out, there's a way. I can actually just push on this clamp here, and it should just pop out. As if... Yeah, look at that. I can just pull this right out. It doesn't even need to be in right now. Easy. These clamps are still good, so I might be able to keep them. You just be rough with it now. I don't even care. Oh, got it. Whew. I just gotta get to this clamp in there. Right there. Should be easy, right? So the rad is finally done draining. I'm just gonna put the cap back in it because I don't want to lose the cap. Nice. Oh, almost fell. Come on, you. Ouch! Jeez. Almost did a. Ouch. Almost did a swear. That kind of hurt. Stupid hose. Actually, I'm just kidding. I'm gonna keep those clamps. Ow, that really hurt. Ouch. Just forget that. Anyways, so all these hoses, I was just taking a quick look. Ouch, this is actually getting, I got myself really good. Ouch. Anyways, it's already got all these hoses and everything. So, I mean, it doesn't have the big rad one that I want. I'm gonna have to order another one. But this right here, I might be able to take it or use this. Just put my intake right here on top of it, and I don't have to use that big red pipe. That'd be cool. I don't need to get blood all over the shop. So this line right here, that goes back this way, the AT one. This right here that I'm holding is a 14 millimeter
I gotta sneeze. Ugh, this is 14 millimeter. It takes a 14 millimeter socket, and this is how you remove that line. You just pull that out like that, and then instead of going ahead and losing that right there, I'm just going to thread it back in a bit because I don't want to lose that. I don't need to put it in a bag or anything. I'm putting all of my rad stuff in that paper bag right there, and I'm gonna have a bunch of plastic ones, and I'm gonna be able to divide it all up in. But now I got this hose, this AT hose disconnected. Smells like tranny fluid. Let me just put this over here like that. Cool. Just get my coolant out of here. Wow, I can't even believe there's even that much. Okay, so now I've got these all undone. I'm gonna get at that plug right there. There's another one on the other side that's easier to get at from the bottom. So far it's going okay. What I'm going to do next, ooh, how do I do that? I don't think that I need to undo this one. This looks like it's the AC one. I could probably just pull it out. The video that I seen, he undoes the AC and then he's able to just flop it out like this. So I might not even need to be able, I might not have to disconnect this part. But I'm definitely gonna get this rad out. Here's the next hose. Much easier one to get at with the clamp just being like right here and right here. This hose I would like to save. Unless I end up just getting a whole pack, which I'd rather, honestly, I'd rather just have a whole bunch of new hoses. But if I can, I'm gonna save them because that's cheaper. I just bought an engine. An EJ20. Whew, almost got her. Ooh, this one doesn't want to come off. Ah, I made it come off. Oh, dang. Put it back up, put it back up. Ugh. I caught most of it, for what it's worth. I never thought that I'd be doing this. I'm not a mechanic. Alright, now with pretty much everything disconnected, what I can do is I can undo this and undo that one over there, and I can undo these clamps. Oh, whew, slipped out of my hands. Okay, see? Just kind of come loose. Alright, so everything about that. Okay, what I'm going to do, I'm just going to keep these screws exactly where they are, because I don't want to lose them, and I don't want to start mixing them up with anything else. These, however, are very obvious, so with my other radiator stuff, I'm going to put them in this bag. But even though those are there, I'm just not going to lose them that way. So the next thing I'm going to do
is with the bucket down where it is, I'm going to lift it up and out.
Something you can't forget though, because if you start pulling on it, you'll wreck stuff. See that clip right there? That clip? And that clip? Those are the fan clips for the rad. So I need to unplug those before I start tugging and pulling and wrecking stuff. Now that I've got those clips that are undone, like the way they work is, it's a piece of plastic that has a little clamp that you push it in, and then you can stick a little knife or a flathead in there, and then you can separate it and pull it out like that. They're kind of finicky. You don't want to tug on them too much because they're small little cords. So now that I've got that done, it's time for me to pull out the rad, tip it, let it drain a little bit more if there's anything else in it. Probably be easier if I lowered the car, but it looks good for video, so. I'm just letting it drain into the bucket. I don't think I need to pull the rad apart. It's a brand new rad. It's still a good rad. I don't need to replace it, luckily. Just gonna put it over here quick. Put my rad things with my rad things. So that's all my stuff in there, and that's my actual rad. Oh, my car. But this is how much room I got to work with now. That's not too bad. I think I'm gonna pull my intake off next. So these bands right here that I had my intake held on by, they're just a couple of flatheads. So it's easy enough. And then this, oh wow, that's really on there. That's really on there. Okay, what I'm going to want to do next to make things easier for myself is I'm going to drain the oil, and then I'm going to get at the belts, and I'm going to try to make the belts stay alive as long as I can, because I'd like to reuse them. They are all new belts. But if I don't have, if I can't, that AC belt, I know I got to snip it. I know I have to get a new one that way. Wish me luck. So with a 17 mil, here is my oil pan. Please don't miss, please don't miss. Missed! Nailed it! Went a little too far. Had to kick the bucket over. Wow, that is new oil, and that is black. Dang. This engine's not doing too hot. It is burning too much. And because it's a good habit, just so then you don't lose it, put it back where it come from. That's good. Okay, lots so far-ish. Now the next thing I want to do is the belts. So this right here, what I've got this on, this bracket is the tensioner. Yeah, it's this this right here is the tensioner for the alternator here, to make for the alternator belt. So what I gotta do is I have to loosen this a bunch so I can take this belt off. Why isn't it moving? So it's this one I gotta loosen. This one I gotta loosen as well. Holy, there we go. Strong arm it. And this one right here. Let's see if I can't. Okay, so I loosened those ones. This one here, it goes all the way through to the back to this piece right here. This is like a
a nut that can go get itself into place. Yeah, see, now it's free to move. I can take this belt off. Should be able to take this belt off. Should be able to take this belt off. There we go. Whew. This is my power steering belt. Cool. Okay, so next I need to further disconnect this alternator, which is this little green clip right here, and this piece right here, which I'm assuming is for the battery. So I'm gonna pull this off and see what I can't do about that clip.
I hate these little plastic clips.
Okay, so what I'm doing, there's a clip on this side right here that I'm holding down with my grips, and with my knife I was able to get it in between on that groove there on the top. It's hard to see, my phone won't focus, but I was able to get it going a little bit at least. Okay, so I was able to wiggle it out a little. That's what it looks like. Now it's time to get this piece right here. Looks like it just flicks open. Ouch. Oh, doy. Right there. See if I can't get it open. Okay, I need to disconnect that now. A12, which is on this gun I'm borrowing now, because that other way was just not good enough. Yeah. It's got a washer on there. I don't want to lose that washer. Oh, come on, you. There we go. Put this back here. Looks like this little piece right here is going to be next too, because it's attached to stuff. Oh dang, okay. On the piece I was just pulling on right here, you can see a little clip. I'll be able to undo that there, and then I can undo it right here. And then I'll be able to lift this up and get it out of my way. Yep, and that's exactly what I did. So this right here has a clip on top that I pressed in, and I was able to just pull out. Same with those clips, I just moved them out of the way, and now this is free to not be in my way as much, unless I unplug it from here, which is probably going to have to be the case because it's connected into this. Yep. I was just looking at that one over there. Oh, I cannot wait for it to go in. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this completely out, this completely out. I'm going to take this one out, which is going to loosen this piece right here, back here, holding on to this, my alternator, and then that should be enough to get it out. Until it comes out. That's what the video says anyways. Until it comes out. Put that there. This is the one that holds it actually on, as well as that one there. I'm just gonna put my... You get the gist of it. I'm gonna put my phone down so I don't drop anything by accident. That's how they went in. Alright, last one. This one right here. This piece is gonna fall. So, yeah. Cool. Got it out. Come right from back here. Now this should be able to come out. Well, it might need to be
Yeah, there's still some threads that needs to go through. Oh, come on, you. Here we go. Boy, am I glad I'm videoing this stuff so I can remember how it all goes back together. Okay, in theory, this alternator should come out. Ugh. Just using one hand. Ah, there we go. There's my alternator. It sits in there just like that. So you'll see what I quickly did. I put everything back exactly like how it went off. Put this back on back here. I just don't want to lose anything whatsoever, no matter what. So I'm putting it all back together in a way as I'm taking it off, just so I can keep things organized. This empty spot where my alternator should be. That's funny. Okay, so from the last time I did this belt right here, my AC belt, even though it's brand new, the manufacturer recommends you never reuse it, so I need to get a new belt. Oh! Man. Okay, so what I need to do now is get at the secondary air pump that's right here. My battery is disconnected. The video I'm watching, he took the battery out just for some more room. I have a shop with hoists and stuff like that, so I have extra tools at my disposal right now compared to him who's on his driveway. That's how I felt like I could do this, because people have done this on their driveway. So for me to get at this secondary air pump right here, there is a bolt here, there's a bolt underneath of here, and there's one back here. There's also a little hose back here with a clamp on it, just like the rad hose. So what I need to do is pull those 3 bolts out and that hose, and then I can just pull that air pump out. Holy moly, am I glad for swivel bits. Yeah. Okay, so I managed to get these 3 out. There's one under here as well. That's the clamp, and once it's loose, it should just come right out. And that is my secondary air pump. I'm just gonna put this back here for a sec, because I'm trying to get into a good habit of things, because I'm not a mechanic, right? I think it's a great idea to constantly always put these exactly back where you got them. That way, no matter what, when you're done with it, there isn't going to be any leftover bolts, because leftover bolts is not where it's at. Alrighty, so the next thing I want to do is take this bolt out and this bolt out. This is the piece that was holding on to my that extra air pump. Yeah, this is what is the bracket that was holding on to that extra air pump. And so I'm going to take this out, and I'm going to take that one out, remove this, that way I have more room to maneuver the AC around, because the video that I'm following is he's showing me a way to do this without having to evacuate the whole air conditioning setup, because that is a whole different process in its own that I'm not totally aware of. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to follow this video, I'm going to take this bracket out, and then work on this. Yeah. This is a 12 mil also. Cool. What I'm going to want to do now, because so this right here is my AC compressor, and it's got
a bracket right here that's holding on to everything. So what I'm going to want to do is unbolt this bracket so then I can move this compressor, and then I can take this bracket and bolt it back on, because this right here is the hook point for the hoist to lift my, or not the hoist, the lift to lift my engine out. So what I'm going to want to do is this one here, take this one out, which is a 14 mil, this one here, which is also a 14 mil. There is one back here, I believe, which is a 14 mil. Yeah, that one. And then there's also one way down in here, but what I'm gonna have to do is take these vacuum lines off. Those black lines right there, I gotta unplug those because there's one down there too. So for me to be able to fit a swivel socket and a 14 mil into that, I'm gonna have to pull these vacuum lines out. See this, I'm just gonna see if just tugging on them does anything. No. Okay. Yeah, I'm just gonna take a quick watch something real quick, make sure I'm doing this right. I wish I had like a head cam. This would be a really good time for it. So anyways, I'm gonna pull these out completely. The best way to do that is just with finesse and a little bit of strength. Oh, finger strength. Whew, gamer strength. All right, let's see if I can't. Wow, I can't even fit my fingers in that. Neato. I'm gonna have to think of something else for that. Probably grab a pair of pliers. Okay, almost got it. Just gotta press. The one thing about having large hands. There we go. That's kind of out, sort of. Whatever, got it, it's out. So now, oh, come on! Alright, so basically now that I've got this loose, see, I don't want to take these apart and have to evacuate anything. So now that I've got these parts loose, I can, let me see if I can't find them. I can rotate this at least a little bit. Yeah, there we go. And take out 1, 2, there should be another one. Yeah. 3 down here, and then number 4 right there. So I'll take those out, and then this bottom bracket, I'll pull it out from underneath. This bracket right here, I'll pull it out, bolt it back on without it being attached to my AC pump. So yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4. These ones are just 12 mil.
There you go. One down here. There we go. Had to disconnect it real quick.
Ooh, I still need to pull on that one some more. Yeah, I gotta pull on these bottom ones a little bit more. 2 seconds. Okay, got all the bolts out. Here's this side of the bracket. Just pull this out. So I'm gonna have to bolt this back in because this is the part that hooks on to the lift. Bracket underneath it here. There we go. Okay, so that sits in there like this. All right, now my AC is totally loose. So when I'm ready to remove it, I'll pull that not the gas, oil cap off right here, and I'll be able to push this side. Actually, when I pull my engine out, I'm probably going to take my battery out so then I can have this sitting where my battery is for when I actually take that out. All right, now that this is in here and it's loose, it's ready to go. Now it's time for my power steering pump. It's hot in the shop. Before I do that power steering pump though, before I worry about that too much, what I'm going to do is actually take this bracket and mount it back in without having it attached to this. So, what I'm going to do, I'm going to take these, all of them, see if I can't find a spot that I can't remember. Actually, you know what? I know exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to get a zip tie, put a note around these. I'm going to put these in my bag. I'm going to put a note on them that these are the mount piece. These are the mount bolts for my AC pump, my compressor, to mount to the mount. That's what these are for. English. I'm not a mechanic, I swear. I'm just getting this bracket put back in. Cool. I'm just gonna make sure this one's tight. Oh, I can just fit it. Okay, that's on there now. Those were 14 mil. Okay, so now the next thing to do is the power steering pump. And as far as I know, the video that I'm watching is telling me that this is only held on by like 3 bolts. So according to the video, there is, oh, almost dropping my stuff. Okay, so there is that one right there. There's another one right there. And then there is another one somewhere in behind here. I'll find it though, don't worry. So it's very difficult to get an eye or camera on that third one, but that is exactly where it is, straight down. This is on it. Ooh, that's on there. Yeah, I'm gonna need 2 hands, but yeah, this is where it's at. I already got this one out and I got the other one out from right there. So as soon as this one's out, I'll be able to pull this out and put it pretty much where my air intake is. Ooh. It's free. I just gotta make sure I don't drop the bolt or my socket in my engine. Alright, okay, everything. Okay, hold up, I gotta hold that in place. Together. So now, is that my power steering pump? This is the whole thing? Is that the entire steer? That's the whole thing? Really? Neat. Now the next thing I need to do is remove the intercooler, which is this piece right here. So what I'm going to do is, with this, it's got a hose clamp right here, and then it's got a couple of bolts that hold it on. I'm going to pull this piece out, and then there's a couple of bolts that just hold this on, and then I'll be able to pop that off. Ouch. And then maybe I should call it good for today because my phone's almost dead and I got a lot of footage, so. Intercooler, here we go. Okay, so this pops out like that. This little hose right here, it attaches to this piece right here. So now I need to get myself a 12. Here's one of the bolts that hold my intercooler on. Go to the other side so I can show you.
And then this side, these two bolts right here, they're mounted straight to my turbo. So those are the ones that I'll be able to pull this off once those are gone, once those are out. Fuel. Oof. Ooh, phone says it's at 15%, so that yeah, this is the last part that I'm doing for today, and then I'll keep filming tomorrow. I'll bring another camera, that way I'm not limited to one battery. Okay, so I'd like to pull this out. It looks like there's a little clamp right here as well. Now, there's definitely a little clamp right there, so I'm just going to loosen this and I should be able to pull that right out. Oh, it's coming. There we go. Before I get too carried away, I'm just going to put these bolts back in exactly where they go. Yeah. There's a bracket here that one of the bolts go into. And I'm just going to put the bolts back over here into my new turbo. Oh, there's that Allen key one. So this is where my intercooler was sitting. Here's my turbo, here's my heat shield for my turbo. This is where I put that other one, because this is that bracket piece that holds it in place. Okay, so far, I've taken out my rad, the alternator, AC, power steering pump, and my intercooler, as well as my, I keep forgetting, extra air pump, other air pump, air intake, all the hoses, most of the clamps. I think today was a pretty good day. I got a lot done. I got a lot done, I feel like. I'm not a mechanic, so I'm pretty alright with this. Myself, happy with it. Oh, it's coming along. See you tomorrow. Okay, before I ended up going, because like my next step is my fuel lines, which is these here. So I just wanted to pick at it and make sure I knew what I was doing before. So I ended up using like these two tiny little picks basically. So in here, in this, inside of this green piece right here is two little notches on the side that clip down like that and hold its place. So when you expand them like this, and then you can wiggle it off as long as these notches are facing upwards. This is the fuel line, so there's probably going to be some gasoline in there, so I'm gonna get a rag, put it underneath of there, leave it for tomorrow for me to pull off. Well, 8 in the morning. I don't know what to say. It's so early. So, oh, okay, what am I trying to say? Anyways, I'm on, oh, I look so tired. Look at me. Okay, I'm ready. So, I'm on the part 2 of the 4-part series that I'm following on YouTube. I have to take the fuel lines off. That's where I'm at. And then when I take that off, I can then start picking out the turbo and the downpipe, the J pipe. Yeah, let's do this. Yep. Right, okay, so these are the two picks that I used. I was able to get those clips pulled this way. As long as the notches up top are facing upwards, should be good to go.
Okay, I should definitely be wearing some glasses. So there was still a little bit of pressure built up in the fuel line, obviously. I'm gonna go grab some glasses. Oh man, wouldn't that be the greatest thing ever? Like, literally, first thing that I do, get some gasoline in my eye. Got my safeties. Like the way I'm labeling these things. Like, I am doing this as I'm going. Like, you can tell. Like, there are tags everywhere. Just so I know. This one here is the next fuel line that I need to do. Okay. Ooh, got the clip. Ooh. Okay. Now that that one's out, I'm just going to seal it off like this one so it doesn't make a mess. Label it as the bottom fuel line. Sort of. No, it's on its way. Ouch. Well, yeah, I'm gonna pull this off. I need two hands to do it without wrecking anything, so this is coming off as well. So the videos that I'm watching, the guy is telling me that the next thing I need to do is take the downpipe out. And in order to do that, I gotta take the turbo out, and in order to do that, I gotta take off the heat shield. So I'm gonna go and take the heat shield off. It requires a 10mm. My heat shield doesn't actually have these ones on it. I got one of them out. I didn't know that it was this short, so I just checking to see how long it was, and then it dropped, and I had to go and check and find it. But anyways, here's the one. Put that in my hand so I don't drop it. Here's where the other one is, and then the other one, I believe, is right there. Actually, you know what? There's enough light right in the light there. That's the last one. So I'll get those off, and then I'll pull the heat shield out. Be careful from the AC line because that thing's fragile. Yeah. At first I thought that I thought they were gonna be way longer. I thought I broke the first one. So this clip right here, when it's in, this thing swivels this way like this, and then when it's in there, it's totally clipped in. And what holds it in place is these two little notches. So all I did was I took a flathead and I very carefully just kind of wiggled them, and as soon as they were not in their place, it just popped right out. So I'm just gonna, so by bringing this latch all the way back, it looks like it removed the back piece. This one right here. This is still mounted somehow. Okay, I see. You see right there where there isn't a bolt, and you see where there is a bolt? That one bolt right there, that one right there. I don't know how that one became lost, but that one right there anyways has to come out, and then I'll be able to pull this piece away. What is that? It looks like it's a 10. Okay, those are my 3 bolts that I took out. Okay. Heat shield time. Unless there's one more that I wasn't aware of. Because it really feels like it. Because there's one more right here. Okay. I thought there was only 3. Whatever. There's one more there. It looks like it can fit a Phillips screwdriver on that one though. But I'm not going to use a Phillips screwdriver because it also looks like I can just use a 10mm.
Mine's probably gonna come off pretty easily because I just replaced the turbo on it, so like not too long ago actually. I feel like my new turbo is what's giving my old engine the issues that it's got. It just doesn't want to keep up. Okay, so here is my new turbo. Still looks good in there. That I'm glad about that. So there's 5 bolts, or yeah, there's 5 nuts holding it on. One here, one here, one there, as well as right there, and I think there might be one on the other side right there, on below. So those ones I'll have to get at. I'm just getting these easy ones first that I can get with a little bit of room. These next ones I'm gonna need wrench as well, probably, to hold these in place. There's 2. I wonder if it's just gonna work this way for me. That'd be great if it did. No, it's not gonna. I need to go get something. I'm glad that I used a crescent wrench. I just tightened it enough that it would hang on to it so it wouldn't fall off no matter what. That's awesome. These are 14 mil, by the way. Whack. Take that, AC line. It's not like I use it all the time anyways. Where's that last one? Because it feels like that's it right there. Like, if that's actually it, that's not in a very nice spot. That's in a really mean, rude spot. I don't think that's it. Didn't do that. Oh, there it is. Found it. I didn't think they would do that to you. So with a 17 mil on that one, this is, I think this is the most promising way that I've got it going so far, just to get it going. So here's my ratchet wrench. It goes all the way down below my car. There it is. I still don't have the room. Ah! Can't get a good grip on it. I wish it was just that much taller. Okay, I grabbed an actual breaker bar, a big one.
Oh, I hope this works. This better work. I'm sure it will. Yeah, it's working. I'm just being super careful with my AC lines because they're extremely brittle, right? Got it. As if there was ever any doubt. Finally! Yeah, that's all of them. That's all 5. Oh, this hose right here, I'll have to disconnect it. That's for sure. I'll show you a little bit closer. Okay, I think I'm gonna have to remove the downpipe next in order to take the turbo out. Just give me 2 seconds. I'm just gonna go check this. Check my sources via YouTube. Now, what I need to do, shimmy my way over. I need to take the downpipe off. Just sit down for a sec. So by the looks of it, because the downpipe's held on by the turbo up there, and then it's also held on by these 2 bolts. So I need to loosen them. I don't think I need to do any loosening over there. Pretty sure it's just the downpipe. With a 14 mil. Oh, is that coming apart easier than I thought it was going to? I don't think it is. I think it's trying to strip. Had to get creative. Those were on there. So in order to take the turbo out, I have to take this downpipe out. So it was these 2. There was this one right here, which was holding this on. And then this one right here, which is that. Because then I need this to move a little bit, so. So what I've done was I've loosened off these 2 on my exhaust. Right here is where my exhaust sensor is. I'm gonna just kind of leave it because it's sitting on the hoist here and I've got it held on by the one nut. This one snapped, so lucky. I only punched myself square in the nose with one of these here while doing it, so that was fun. Alright, so for me to take the turbo off,
The downpipe has to come off first. There we go. I got it going. After a lot of stress and a lot of pulling, my turbo isn't exactly the same as this guy's. So I had to find a secret one, a secret bolt. Time to finally take out the downpipe. It's been 4 hours. Now I know that I am a guy that knows what to do, finally. Because that took too long. That was stressing me out. Alright. Finally. I don't want to wreck this, so I'm just gonna put it here for now. Alright, my turbo's still held on by a bolt, which is this one. Oh, finally! It just feels good to finally get somewhere. 4 hours, man. Okay, so I'm gonna take a 14 mil, I'm gonna unbolt that one, and then pull my turbo out. I managed to get it loose with that wrench, but there was no way I was gonna be able to get it totally off. Oh, I'm doing it! Finally! Oh, there was some colorful words off camera, that's for sure. Oh, it's finally loose. Not wanting to come off. Oh, there's a little hose that there's a hose that's still attached to it, so I'm just gonna disconnect that hose and it should be able to come out. I know it's warm and I know it's a toque, but it's the only hat that I have a light on, so. That's out. There's my turbo. Oh man. It looks like I gave myself a black eye. I didn't. I don't have a black eye, I promise. I whacked myself in the nose. I didn't actually whack myself in the eye. That's funny. Anyways, now I gotta take the starter out. Here is my starter. It's got a bunch of cables connected to it. So I need to disconnect this one. I need to disconnect this one. It's hard to see. Need to disconnect one down here. And then once it's disconnected, yeah, right there. It's hard. It's really hard for me to get my camera or my phone in this area. But there's a couple. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take all these connectors off. And then there's a couple of 14 mil bolts that are holding this starter in. I need this starter for my new engine.
My new one didn't come with one, so time to Frankenstein it. So there's my starter. I got that plug taken out. That's that one bolt for the top connector. This is the bottom under the lower connector. One there, and then one just on the opposite side. 14 mil. And then after that, when that's finally off, I'll be able to start taking the transmission off, which will be those two, as well as those two, and a couple more up top. I'm just gonna try to hold it up at the exact same time, so just in case it falls out, give me a fat chance, because these bolts are long. Oh, I just wish I could turn it with my fingers. Holy. Oh. Bigger than I thought it was. That's out. There's my starter. So this piece right here, this dark piece, sits inside, and this bolts in. Glad I got that out. So now I'm on the part where I need to take out some of the engine mounts, like some of the bolts from the engine mount, and I also need to disconnect the transmission as well. There's going to be 2 bolts that I'm not going to be able to get at right away until I take some weight off the engine, because that's just too much. So that's what I'll do. I'll get underneath, loosen the engine mount, loosen the transmission mount, lower it, put a jack underneath of the transmission, that way it doesn't just fall out from underneath, because that would suck. Have some sort of a support, and then I'll take those 2 bolts out and it'll be ready to lift. Alright, so you can see how it's not there, and there isn't 2 nuts there as well as there. So those are the start ones. Now what I'm going to do is get at the engine mount. It'd be easier to see if I just turned around. So the engine mount is the part that's sitting on these cushioned spots. This and this. I just gotta take those off, and then I'll see what I gotta do next. Ah! Ouch. Ooh, I just punched a sharp piece of metal. Not like yesterday, but I punched it. Okay, we're making progress. So I have 2 more bolts holding on to my transmission, which is also holding on to my engine. What I need to do now is lower it, put a jack up underneath of my transmission, and then get the engine lift, hook it all up, take some of the weight off, and then I can take those bolts out, and then I can lift it out.
So I'm going to do something to make things a little bit easier for myself. That much easier. I'm going to show you. It's kind of neat. This car anyways, I don't know how other ones are, but this one, I'm going to need to move my hood mounts because I'm not going to have enough room to lift this out. So this actually has a couple of extra spots for me to mount it, just in case, for just such a reason. So I'm going to pull these out and then put them into here on both sides, and my hood will be lifted up even more. There. Doesn't that look silly? More room. There. I don't want to lift up my car. I just want enough tension that I know it's being held up. I'm not going to lift my car because that's for my transmission. That'd be dumb. Okay, well, so here's my tranny. This bolt right here and this one right here are the last two holding this thing in. Yeah. I've been following this video and I think they forgot a couple of hoses, like this one here. Just disconnect it like right there. Obviously before I totally lift it out, I'm gonna do another quick look around, make sure everything that needs to be disconnected is disconnected. Everything that needs to be labeled is labeled, and we're doing it. Easy enough. Transmission stick. I might have to, yeah. I'm just gonna have to get this this transmission stick out of the way just real quick so I can get this bolt out. And the other two bolts that were holding the transmission in are the ones that were connected to the starter there, those really long ones. Those ones are also two bolts that hold this whole thing into place. They're all this long. Those come out just so nicely because there isn't any weight holding them on. I think I'm doing this all right. I think I'm doing good. And there's the other one. All right, I believe I have everything disconnected. Just did a double check. I had one hose on there that was still connected, but it's not anymore. It looked like a vacuum hose. Here we go. It is so ready to come out. It's so ready.
Now we need to get the bolt out. Here's what not to do.
Yeah, basically. Finally separated. Get some of this out of the way. That was pretty wobbly. Yeah, I took the mount. Not snagging on food. Wow. Nothing like losing a couple 100 pounds in one go, huh? So we were pulling the transmission apart and we got the clutch piece taken out. And this is, what is it called? The clutch pad?
That's the clutch disc.
Clutch disc. Mine is not doing too hot, so I'm going to order a new one of these and then try to put it all back together. So I'm just looking at the turbo, and right here the port comes off to the right and this one goes off to the left, and the mounting brackets are different. So there's my old clutch. The centering tool. Ooh, look at that compared. Okay, so old disc. Oh, I'm gonna have to wash my hands after. That's got asbestos in it. New disc. Oh man, this is gonna feel like a brand new car. One of these pads. Oh, focus. One of these pads is both of those and then some. What I would like to do is do a couple of swaps, see if I can't get some things from that, put it over to here. I'm gonna be taking this turbo off. You can see I've already got the rat. You can already see that I've got it going, right? Red Punch Boogie. I'm gonna take the turbo off and I'm going to attempt to do the clutch. And if I don't feel groovy with it, then whatever. I'm just gonna try tomorrow. There's a pretty good chance that my buddy Randy's gonna be here, so. And I know that this turbo right here
only has 65,000 kilometers on it, but that one only has like maybe 300. So I'm just gonna keep turning it. Wow, those are on there. Those are what the guy on YouTube was telling me about. Mine was way easier to take off compared to that already. I'm gonna go grab an impact gun. E. Oh, that fell right out. There it is. E Z. That just popped right out. Maybe. That one's on there. Got it. Isn't there supposed to be more than that?
There is. There's one back there. You see it? Right there.
But I'm also thinking on if I take this off and this one off, it might let go of this bracket here that it's hanging on to, so I might not need to put one back there right yet. I'm just gonna do that and check it out first. Whew, unclamped it, moved this up a little bit. This was very difficult to pull out, but I got it going. Finally. Whew. Alrighty, so this goes here. So I'm going to undo this from right there. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna call about it. I'm gonna see if I can't do some spark plugs, because that is where they are. That's where the spark plugs are. That is so easy here. When it's in the car, it's so much more difficult. So let me just take another quick gander. Give it a couple tugs. Alright, so the intake port right here, I'm just gonna loosen this. And then I should be able to pull it out this way. And underneath, there is a hose that goes down into here that I'll have to pull it up and out. So, next thing is this clamp, which should be, what, like a 10? And so it turns out it was a 10. Let me just loosen this. There we go. Got it. Whew. One more thing still holding it. A little hose. I forgot about that little hose. It's a good thing I went over this real quick. Oh no, got it. It just twisted finally. Yo. There it is. You know, that's still really good. This is an awesome turbo still. It's a little dirty right here. It has 65,000 kilometers on it, which is still 64,500 more than my other one's got. So, changing it. Alright, so this is how it looks on my new engine. And that is how it looks on my old one. This one, it loops down and comes up to here. And then this one comes down like this, whereas the other one in my old one, it's just one great big tube. I kind of want this one in there, but my new turbo won't fit that. Yay, spark plugs. But if I'm being truthful right now, I'm pretty beat for the day. I'm going to leave the tools here for tomorrow. Tomorrow I'm just gonna swap things over with my buddy. It's probably the best thing to do. Makes the day go by quicker. So I asked a little bit about the differences in turbos and stuff. I can't wait to have it actually. It's gonna be a completely different car. Completely new. I've been driving this car for 5 years and I've been shifting at particular points, and it's just gonna be completely different. I'm gonna be relearning the whole thing. It's awesome. If you're changing spark plugs, you are going to need at least a 5/8 socket, deep socket in there to take that out. I wonder, can I just, no. What is now? Wow. These are brand new.
Well, here's a comparison between the two. You'd almost think that they both came out of the same engine. This one is my old one, or this come out of my new one, or yeah, this come out of my old engine, but that is a new spark plug. Wow. If this one looks like this, then I might as well just, wow. The next thing that I need to do now is I need to take that flywheel off, that huge round hunk of metal, and put it over there, because that's what my clutch attaches to. That's the last one. Bearings are holding it in there. Oh, okay. Now it's starting to look familiar. Ooh, I got it. This tool helps keep things all lined up. Like so. Gotta wash my hands after for sure. That's on just like that. I gotta take these bolts out first so I can screw them back in. kind of looks like. It goes on like that. I'm just making sure they all go on evenly. Okay, I believe my clutch is now installed.
Check it out. It looks so good. Check it out. I was wrong. I don't need to wash my hands after all. So this piece come with my clutch, and I'm like looking at it wondering where the heck it goes, because I couldn't find it, right? It didn't, one of these didn't come off of my old engine. And I got over here to my car and like my labels, I realized this greasy piece is it right here. Dang. Let's put that there for a sec. Take this one. Loop it in. Ooh, this is difficult to do with one hand. But I just gotta hook it on like that, more or less. It's gonna sit in there better than that, but that's where it goes. There we go, got it in. And so what happens is, clutch goes in, everything gets all compressed. Up here is where it all moves, you know, and it regulates, figures out the pressure with this thing.
Got my hood mounted the way I need to, so now I can lower it in. But what I'm going to do at first is I'm going to put a jack underneath of the transmission, make things a little bit easier for myself. Jack's in place. So a problem that I came across, just looking at it, it has to be totally ready to go in before I can put it in. So what that means is there is a plug on there, that little cord right there, that's my block heater. I'd like to pull that block heater out and put it in this because this car doesn't have a block heater in it. They don't need them in Japan, but we definitely need them in Canada. The thing that was stopping me right now though was the electrical. I took the cover off right here, put it there. But this right here is on the left side. And then this one is on the right side. So that's kind of where I'm at right now. I found out what I need to do. What I need to do is take this air intake manifold off and swap it over onto that one because it fits and it holds all of the wiring that I need. This is the correct wiring harness. That is not the correct wiring harness. And just pulling that, that's what I'm doing. That's what I need to do. Make things easier for myself. It is looking like, because I just want to take the plastic off. I don't want to take anything else off. So it looks like I can just take it off from here and here, back there. It goes around. And then anything that's clipped on underneath, I'll have to undo the rest of the wires. Okay, and then the other ones are down there. Okay, I can do this. I'm just gonna pull that off of this one and then pull it off of that one. Please come free. Please come free. Finally. That's what it looks like without this sitting on top like that. Oh, okay, time to do the next one. Hold out the wiring harness. Another day. Now it's time for me to take off the air intake manifold on my EJ20 and disconnect all of the wires and then transfer them over onto this one. This one's got some sort of a plate. Well, maybe that plate's there as a grounding mechanism because this one has a ground on it. But so far, this electrical side right here. This is actually way simpler than the other one, which I'm pretty happy for. So this side's done. I'm just gonna go unplug that side, and then the middle on both sides, and then I'm gonna pull this out. Alrighty, so I got it all unplugged on this side. And now I need to figure out about my O2 sensor. I got a little bit further. So my fuel line's here. I needed to pull them out, that's why I got the rag there. So the way I'm gonna have to do this is pull this out, bring it around this with this hole where I can do it, and this was on this engine goes over top, which is just in the way. So I'm gonna have to maneuver around it. Okay, here we go. There's just a couple of tubes that are holding it on, so I'm just gonna get those real quick. still attached somewhere. Right there, and right there. There, and yeah, there. Those ones. Okay, so this fuel line, I had to disconnect it all right here. That's why the cloth is there, is because I got a bunch of fuel all over the place. The only way I think that this is possible if I totally, ooh, nice, more gas. If I totally disconnect it. That's gonna be one expensive rag. Premium fuel is going for $1.50 right now a liter. So crack the bottle, let your body waddle. Don't act like a snobby model, you just hit the lotto. Really? I still got another 2 hoses, 2 left, I promise you. Next time I see this, this is coming off. Wow, that's a humongous mosquito. Okay, so I did it! I did it! I did it! I finally did it! Leave this together. Oh, I finally did it. This is taking me forever. Ooh, it just fell into place. Woo! This is really happening. Check it out. Fit exactly the way it needed to. It's pretty much right there. All I gotta do is line up everything just ever so slightly enough and then start bolting it back together. Start clipping clips in and hoses. Here we go. Yep. All done. And I didn't have supper yet either, so you know. You know when you know. Tonight is the night that it is going to be put together. Let me just put my bag down real quick. When it goes so smoothly, I'm always afraid that I broke it. It's making me feel pretty good that they're all the exact same length coming out, so. Come out just like that. Just with a little tug. pay. This one's free, now I gotta do that one. Okay, this one's got a little bit of corrosion on it. Wow. If I can, I'm going to not use this one. Wow, look at that. Better lighting. Yeah, ick. I'm gonna try not to use this one. I'm gonna try to use one of them for my other engine. Maybe just replace all of them on this side. Oh no, this one's okay. It's probably just that one. Not seeing any other ones holding it down. Wish me luck. Well, all right. This is going a lot smoother than I thought it was gonna. All right. All right. Here it is. My lower intake manifold. Now I need the lower intake manifold off of that one. Here we go. Much cleaner than this one over here. You can definitely tell, yeah, I'm not going to use these ones. I'm just going to use mine. Mine are better. So, in theory, this should just... Oh, it's already come off. Oh, this is what... Okay, so before, when I found out my turbo wasn't doing too good, before I got this new one, this was leaking down here. So that's why it come off easy, because they're brand new gaskets. I'm gonna use those. Sweet. I don't want to put it down. Okay, so line it up at least a little bit. I'm gonna put it down just very gently. I don't want to. Okay, so line this up because there's actual holes to line it up with. Press them in there. Now this side's good to be put on. Just like that. Ooh. Just gotta find the right thread. There it goes. Now it's in. Ooh, I'm getting excited. Oh, this is the part that I don't mind. I like this part. Things are going well. It wasn't like the other days where it felt stressful. Time to pull this one out. So, okay, before I do that, the reason why I'm not pulling the fuse, well, the reason why I didn't assemble the fuel system on that side first is because for some reason, this one has like an outer, like an exterior kind of fuel system. So it doesn't move in and out and in between the air manifold very nicely. What it actually does is it goes over top. So it'd be a lot better if I were to just get this in place with the fuel line this way and then put the air intake manifold on top and then put the fuel line on top of that. Having seen it, looking at it before. So that's what I'm doing. And this should just come off because it was just off not very long ago. And there's the other gasket, the new one. All right. Are you guys with me? Lean me up against this. Now all I gotta do is put these back in. Obviously. This here. Okay. Almost ready. This will fit now. That means this will fit. Let me just lay it down ever so nicely. Like it was meant to be. Just like it was meant to be.
I don't know what this guy's doing. I've been waiting for him to pull in for like ever now. He's just backing up and going forward. He tells me he's got one flat on this, but watch. Yep. This is how my day. I just walked up to him, told him to stop. And I said, when I tell you to stop, you stop. He is not listening to me. And I'm getting very angry. I told him to stop. Old engine. New engine! Look at it. It's all together. I did it. Everything's where it needs to be. Let me just not trip over stuff. There it is. Now I gotta put it in. There it is, the piece I've been waiting for this whole time. I can put this little thing in my car, which can heat up my engine in the winter. I can put this in my car and I'm going to lower it in. This right here, that circle is where that plug goes in, so I just need to pull that plug out and then put the block heater in. Well, another day again. So it turns out what I need to do is pull this off of this one, pull it off of this one. It turns out that this JDM turbo right here, I cannot get a downpipe that fits that mount. However, one day I might, because I'm a welder and I'm pretty good with an oxyacetylene torch. So what I'm gonna have to do is pull the turbo off and the downpipe. Alrighty, I got the JDM turbo out. I'm looking around, I feel like that it's bolted on underneath. So I'm gonna lift it up and take a look. Oh, fit. Oh. There we go. And that's that for now. The JDM one that I wish I could make work right now, but I can't. Now I need to do the same thing to my old one. Where are you? There it is. I need to grab it off of that one now. I've got a bunch of shields on there I need to take off first. And there we have it. JDM one, because of the two holes for that turbo. Mine, with a single hole there. And it looks a little different right here because I left that heat shield on. I decided that was probably the best thing to do, to just leave it on. Oh, that's the cap for the block heater. Cool. That's where my block heater goes. I gotta go grab that outside real quick. It's in the car. It feels so good to make progress. I got that block heater in there. Alright, so now the next thing I need to do is get the headers put back on, or swap them over, and then it's ready to go in. So after a lot of screaming and hurting myself, I finally got it on. Right there. Now I just gotta tighten it on, and then I'm gonna call it a night, because then it's going to be ready to be put in my car. I'm gonna call it a night. I'm all dirty.
I need a shower. I did it. It's finally ready. That's my new turbo. Well, my new turbo, not my new JDM turbo, but my new turbo that came off of this. And it's all hooked up. Everything. All the way around. Tight fit. Alright, so Randy and I, we just went ahead and did it. I didn't really want to video everything because that takes a long time and he is pressed for time, so check it out. It's in! I just got to get the, well, so far I've got a couple of bolts holding it lined up on the transmission. What I need to do is use this hoist, lift it, use that transmission jack, and hopefully not tip my car over on the hoist. I need to line up the engine mounts, and then once that's in, it'll just kind of sink in, and then from there it's just plugging everything back in. And there's the one, and there's the other one. Those are what I needed to get lined up. And now I've already got a couple of transmission bolts already in there. I'm gonna do the rest of it tomorrow. I think it might be ready tomorrow. I'm so excited. Listen to this. It's so good.